Sean sandwich. Boom! What's up, everyone? Marc Lobliner, TigerFitness.com, out angling the shit out of my fellow members of the Gains Alliance. Dude, I'm introducing. I was gonna step back. You got the angle now. Go ahead.
All right, Doug Miller, Core Nutritionals,
and Sean Torbati, High Performance Nutrition.
That's
we have a question from our man Jake.
Jake the Snake.
Jake the Snake Roberts. He'll DDT you.
I love that.
He wants to improve his arms. He went from 0 to hero back to 0. He made a documentary. Mark, what's his name? Chris Bell made it.
Oh, he did.
Yeah. Anyway, hello, Mark, misspelled. He wants to improve his arms. His legs and back are strong, but he's got long, lanky ass arms, and they're not growing the way he wants them to. We flew Doug Miller in for this question.
This is it.
This is
why he's here. He came from Washington D.C.
It's like
to answer this
$1,000
for you,
plane
Jake.
ticket
Just
to answer
just
this
for
question.
Jake.
How can Jake grow his arms, Doug?
All right, so I have a couple things that have worked well.
I just want to see my beard.
Okay.
My beard's looking epic today.
Savage. You see that?
Jubo slice.
Jubo slice.
All right,
Yeah.
so there's a couple things that I think have really helped me. Number one is a lot of people will put arms as an afterthought at the end of their training sessions.
Oh, no.
I really feel like you're missing out on giving your all to that body part. So first of all, I would put arms on its own day, right?
Biceps and triceps?
Biceps and triceps. Really focus on that. You can do all triceps first, then all biceps. I really like to do tricep, bicep, or bicep, tricep,
Likewise,
bicep.
yeah.
Just going back and forth. Now, the other big thing that I really...
We didn't do anything.
I know, but I was waiting for a comment. I
was just going to ask, when do you take the trend?
Yeah, okay. See, I was waiting for the comment.
I wasn't going to say it.
The other thing that I really found is, people are always trying to do concentration curls, isolation curls, and all this for bigger overall arms. But,
single joint movement.
Yeah. But for me, I think hitting like hammer curl type of motions, where you're not only hitting your bicep, but you're hitting your brachioradialis. People don't realize that your tricep.
Holy shit!
What is that?
What? That's.
So your tricep,
Piano call.
your tricep, your arms are not just your tricep and your bicep. So putting some real mass on the inner part of your arm between your.
What the fucking is that?
Between your bicep,
oh my God.
Between your bicep and your
I'm
tricep,
done.
that'll just add a lot of thickness to your overall arm. Both girth this way and girth that way.
And I'll tell you what, when I'm training arms, I didn't used to even like training arms, but the crazy pumps that I get when I use either like Vasky or Core Pump when I stack it with P3, it's unreal. I actually can't even use those products when I train legs because it gets in the way for me. But,
I actually think that some people think that the pump is worthless. Like it's cool. And it might look cool, but there really are some benefits to the pump.
Nutrient delivery, everything. It's blood flow.
That's why products, stimulant-based pre-workouts that also have the pump aspect, like the Ruckus or the Fury or the P3, but also, like just the pure nitric oxide products, like the Vasky or the Pump, are phenomenal. They are a staple for my training, especially
here's a good thing to do. I like to put things kind of in numbers, like what do we do? So number one is obviously giving arms their own day.
Yep.
Number two is training them with movements that aren't just single joint, like concentration curls. We're really not putting that much overload on the muscle. And number three, obviously proper nutrition in your diet.
Yeah.
And then supplementation that includes a blood flow type increasing product or a pump product like a Core Pump or a Vascular. Now with PA7, I like throwing that in. I don't know if it's supposed to increase pump, but all I know is that
PA7 also has a full clinical dose of estrogen. I think that's a lot of our pump because we have 100 milligrams of estrogen, which is a really fat dose.
Combined with all the stuff
with your carb and with your carbohydrate-based meal. And so people saying the pump is irrelevant, I'll tell you what, if you're not training the muscle correctly, it's probably not going to get pumped. So that is a good indication of a solid mind-muscle connection, which you need. It was Dorian, I remember, who I heard saying, if I see a guy curling 35-pound dumbbells, and I see him 2 years later and he's still curling 35-pound dumbbells, he'll have the same size arms, I promise. And that is true if he's curling them the same way.
Yep.
So if you get better at doing the motion, if you have a better mind-muscle connection, I remember like maybe 8-9 years ago, I could do dumbbell curls with 50s, and I had to drop way back down when I was like, okay, I actually want to start hitting the muscle, and stop using my front delts and my back.
Yeah,
I had to drop my weight down and work it back up. So it's not like I was still doing the same weight with the same form. My form got better. So that's another tip. Work on your form. Make sure you're actually activating these muscles. I see people doing biceps and pulling in and really using that front delt, using their back, just doing everything but engaging the muscle they intended to.
You know, the other thing is everyone has different muscle insertions and shapes to their muscle. You're really not going to change the overall shape of your arm. People will do the high cable curls thinking they're going to put a peak on your arm.
It's not going to move your insertion up. Like, I have really, look where mine insert. Doug's insert more close to here.
Yeah.
I'm not going to have that nasty gap right here that Doug has.
So, I mean, don't think you're necessarily going to change that, but increasing the overall size of your arms through, like, the compound motions. But, like, coming back to what you said about that mind-muscle connection, you know, back in the day, like, I would be stupid and doing loose form, curling 185 and my arms didn't grow as much as they have in the last, you know, maybe 5 or 6 years, where, you know, I don't even necessarily do barbell curls, but I have a much better mind-muscle connection.
You do whatever it takes.
Yes. I can do a lot of machines and still get a lot of, you know, crazy pumps out of it. Like, I can do one set of arms and get a good pump because I have such a good mind-muscle connection now.
Right.
So really working on feeling those muscles contract, that's important.
And people who email me saying they can't get a pump, just on a, we'll finish on this tangent. I took this product, I couldn't get a pump. Honestly, if you take no product, you can't get a pump. Something's either wrong with your nutrition or your training or your hydration.
Yeah.
Or electrolytes.
Or all of them.
It's or everything. And it's not, the supplement can't replace you missing out on the fundamentals of living.
Yeah.
You know, and that's the key. So that's it. There you go. That touched on every angle. So that's how you get him to grow. But he's a tall dude with lanky arms. You know what? It might be your insertions, but they might never be a standout body part. But you can always make them bigger.
They will grow.
And I'll tell you what, if you do build them, it looks really, really impressive. When you see a tall dude with big arms, it really takes over the room. So that should give you incentive to work hard for it.
Absolutely. And that's not a game.